I know a lot of you absolutely despise the campaign in Path of Exile 1 and 2. Today's video is an announcement of a big project that a few of us have been working on to decode the campaign layout. So in Path of Exile, all layouts have a procedural generation where they are kind of tiles, pre-generated tiles that are stuck together in different ways. And this creates an illusion of randomness. There is still a lot of randomness, but you can often read these layouts and get an idea of where to go, like where the exit is, where a point of interest is, by understanding how these different layouts are generated. So last few days of stream, I've been playing this build that you can see on screen. I will go over it in a bit, but just running through zones, taking screenshots of different layouts, and then trying to establish some kind of pattern. So I've been doing this with Guitaraholic and Haddock. Haddock has been compiling the data that I've been getting and trying to put it into a more digestible form. So over here, this is based on all the screenshots that I have taken, and it's just condensed it into this very bite-sized, understandable form. For people who played PoE 1 and were familiar with Engineering Eternity's layouts, it's essentially the same thing. Just trying to make it so that getting through the campaign is a much quicker and more efficient process. A lot more goes into speedrunning. This isn't necessarily speedrunning. There's a lot of more that goes into speedrunning, but being able to understand how these zones work really does assist with getting through the campaign more quickly. So this is the initial thing that we have done. We will develop this more, but yes, I have been collecting tons of screenshots. As you can see, we've got Act 1 and 2 so far. I'm still doing Act 3, collecting screenshots. So as you can imagine, this is a monumental, monstrous task. And I quickly realized that when we were doing Act 3 yesterday, we're going to need some help. And in order to do that, well, we've created, when I say we, I mean Guitaraholic, has created a beautiful Discord server for all of us. So if you'd like to join in and start taking screenshots and sharing any discoveries you have found, I will link this Discord in the description. It has some information on how to share with the group. So things like making sure the layout is as fully explored as possible. We want images like this. Let me just show you. So an image like this, where you can see the full layout of the area, and then we can compare a whole lot of different ones to one another to see if there is a pattern. We have already discovered a lot of patterns, by the way. So if we can get a lot more people on board, a lot more people sharing screenshots, a lot more people sharing insights into how these may be generated, that would be fantastic. So you can join this Discord. It's all explained here. If you are just interested in joining in on the Discord to stay up to date with any big discoveries, you're also welcome to hop in. You don't necessarily have to contribute, but let me just show you the build that I have been using for this. With this build, we are using Temporalis, which I understand is prohibitively expensive for a lot of people. If you do want to get involved, there are cheaper ways. Even if you're only able to contribute like 3 or 4 or 5 screenshots with a slower build, that's fine. If we get 100 people sharing 3 screenshots, that all goes a long way. But if you are interested and you do own a Temporalis, well, this is the build. So Temporalis, we're using this for the skills have reduced cooldown. This allows us to blink as quickly as possible. So we can get our blink down to like a 0-second cooldown. So we can just spam our blink. And then another modifier, interestingly enough, that we are scaling is increased light radius. Who would have guessed it? Light radius is incredibly useful and important on that build because light radius actually affects how much of the minimap is revealed around your character. So as you can imagine, if we are scouting, this makes it very, very useful. So if I put on this has light radius. You can see this gets bigger. Put on this, light radius. My rings, these have light radius, this light radius, and then Ingenuity is scaling my rings, and it goes a little bit bigger. Interestingly enough, it would appear that there is a cap of 200% increase light radius in Path of Exile 2, which I'm sure no one would have discovered, because why would you use this stat otherwise? But light radius, actually really important. So you can see the full build. We're using Beacon of Aziz for light radius on our rings, light radius here. These weapons are just for increased light radius. This build does almost no damage, by the way. It's just a scouting build. On top of that, just scaling cast speed so that we can blink more quickly and scout areas more quickly. So if you do have a Temporalis, this is the build. Light radius, cast speed. I'll quickly show you the tree as well. The tree is incredibly scuffed, but it serves its purpose. I just so happen to have a mercenary. If you want to join in and you're on a witch, that's absolutely fine. The things we're looking for on the tree are things like cooldown recovery rate. We want to get this blink as low cooldown as possible. So using Temporalis, we're getting that -2 to -4 seconds. If you can get a high one, you don't need to get cooldown recovery rate on the tree. But if you only have like a -3.4, you can scale cooldown recovery rate. You can also get increased cooldown recovery rate here from quality, and then ingenuity for even further improved cooldown recovery rate. I actually don't know if we really need these points on the tree, but like I said, this tree is mega scuffed. Other than that, what we're looking for are jewel sockets for increased cast speed, increased cast speed, increased cast speed, and then increased skill speed. We're getting that over here. And up here, increase skill speed, cast speed, cast speed, cast speed. So it doesn't need to be perfect and hyper efficient. As long as you're able to, do this and teleport and discover maps very quickly, then that's all you need to do. We don't really need to kill anything. I do have a cast on dodge setup. This will proc a spark every time I use my blink/dodge roll. That's just to clear out little packs. But once we have done it, we'll have this beautiful map. Now, a couple of other things you can do if you want to join in. You can go into options, graphics, and then set your scene brightness to -5. This just makes the game a fair amount darker. You can put up the UI brightness. This will make the map more prominent. You can also do things like hiding your life and mana, just to not have too many things in the way. Press Z so that you're not getting these little text things. And then you're noticing, well, a lot of maps do not fit because they are so big in Path of Exile. So what you can do is, I'm pushing Windows key, Shift, S. This allows me to take a screen capture like this. I'm getting the first part of the map, and then I'm using a tool called GIMP. This is a free tool. It's like Photoshop, but free. What I'm doing now is popping it into GIMP, Control V. I'm putting it in like that. Then I'm scrolling up on my map, getting the other half. It's a slightly tedious process, but you get faster at it. Then taking a screenshot of the other half of the map, then putting it here, okay? So I want the bottom half of the tree to be on top. So here are my layers. Here's the bottom half of my map. Put this on the top layer. I don't want it like this. I want it like this. Then I'm going to put this at the opacity. I'm setting this at 50%. Then what I can do is line up these two halves of the map. So it looks like this. It's all lined up. Now, this is getting cropped. So what I can do is go up to image and then fit canvas to layers. This will make it all fit. Then I can make the opacity all the way up again. And then we have our beautiful map like this. If you want to go a step further, you can add a background layer. Just make it black. Use the bucket tool, pull that to the bottom, and here we go. I can now save this. That's the project. I know a lot of you might be thinking, well, they're going to be changing layouts every league. That's what they said. They're going to be changing layouts every league. And also hardcore has slightly different layouts. This is true. Yes, hardcore does have slightly different layouts. However, I started playing a hardcore SSF character, and most of the layout tips that we have discovered are very consistent. The things that change, however, are the orientation of the maps more often. So I'll give you one good example over here. So the Ogham Farmlands in softcore, this area is oriented always in this southwest facing direction pretty much. So it goes southwest and then the exit is in the southwest pretty much every time. However, when I was playing on hardcore, I noticed this, which is, it's pretty much the same map, it's just rotated. So all the tips that we've got from exploring these layouts and from Haddock's insights into them, like this, these are consistent, but they would just need to be rotated. So this still absolutely applies. There's also small things like in the first area in Clearfell, the mud burrows in hardcore, and for some people in Cruel is on the left but not the right. However, the rest of the layout is consistent, and we're not looking to uncover like exact layouts, but more just insights. So for example, in the Grellwood, all points of interest are in a diamond pattern. This is consistent, so you can find the first one, then go down, then go down, then go up. In hardcore, this is consistent. So these are the kinds of insights we're looking for. If you want to join, again, link in the description. If you want to support the channel, you can always become a channel member or a patron. That will also be linked in the description. Follow me on Twitch if you'd like to see this happening live. And yeah, hoping to see you in the Discord, share your insights. Again, a big thank you to Guitaraholic and Haddock, and very excited to have a lot more people on board letting us know what they think about the campaign. We are going to figure this out. Anyway, have a wonderful day, stay safe, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.